Welcome to the Property Hour. Take control of your retirement plan and your children's future. Here's your host, Vincent Dolce.
Welcome to the Property Hour, the show that educates, motivates, and uncomplicates real estate investments. My name is Vincent Dolce, and I'm here with my cohort, Paul.
Vinny, how are you?
All right, good. And today we're going to talk about two ways of leveraging yourself through real estate. The story of the baby boom generation, of which we are
Members,
is that we're the first generation that has not had a pension attached to their job. So it has been our responsibility to put away money and be able to retire comfortably. The statistics are showing that that's not the case, that most baby boomers are in trouble. We may have some retirement money put aside, but it's not enough to carry us into the future.
Okay, can I cut you?
Of course.
When is too young? When is too old to get started on this?
There are baby boomers that are getting started at our age, like 60, 65. They're starting up again because they've either lost most of it in the crash of 2008. Everybody took a bath then.
Yeah, we sure did.
And it wasn't our fault, but the bottom line is the timing wasn't great for our generation.
Right, yeah.
But by leveraging yourself, if you do have some money in your retirement account, you can have a 401k, you can have an IRA, a SEP, or whatever plan you have. There's an opportunity to take money out of it and invest in real estate.
It's a safe bet?
Yes, it's a little known fact. I learned about this about 3 months ago, and it really made me crazy because I wish that I had learned about it 20 years ago. You're able to take money in your IRA, SEP, whatever it is, and transfer it to what we call a self-directed plan, and you can purchase real estate with it.
So it sounds like you're saying it's almost never too late to get started.
No, you can start right now, and you don't have to have $1 million. What we do is I work with people of all income levels, and I guide them through this process. There's some paperwork that has to be done, and you can't do it by yourself. It's a process that has to be handled by what they call a QI, which is a qualified intermediary.
Okay.
It's basically a bank that handles the money and handles the transactions. When you do this process, you are not the owner of the property.
Okay.
The plan is the owner of the property. And so everything is done through the plan. It's still your money because you own the plan, but the plan is in control of the money. The plan pays for any renovations or any costs associated with the property. You have no rights to touch the money.
Okay.
While it's being done. So it's something that people really, really don't realize. When you have your IRA or SEP or whatever it is, you only earn money one way, and that's from stocks, bonds, or mutual funds.
Right.
And I happened to be with a banker this morning, and he was a young man, and I asked him what the rates are, and anywhere from 2 to 4%. When I said 4%, he looked at me like nobody's getting 4% on their money. It's crazy. We're not making good money on our investments today. By pulling out money and buying real estate, you earn money in 3 ways.
Okay.
You earn money by, when you buy the property, you earn by depreciation. A rental property or a building or a shopping center is depreciated over 39 years.
Okay.
So that comes off your taxes, dollar per dollar.
So that's money in your pocket?
It's money in your pocket. Well,
Okay.
rather than pay taxes,
Right, yeah.
you save the money.
All right.
And depending how you bought it and the price and everything and the market and what's right for the market at the time. The third way is by appreciation. And every piece of real estate does appreciate, especially now, and buying it at the right time in the right place with the right agent. You need a real estate agent, you know, in order to facilitate this
Well,
thing.
you got to cross your I's and dot your T's.
Yeah,
Or the opposite.
Right. If everything is not perfect, then it won't go through and it won't qualify.
Okay. So, yeah, you got to do it right for it to float because it has to pass the muster with the government.
Well, yeah, the best part of this is that you buy the property, you keep it for as long as you want. There's no restrictions on
Okay.
how long you can keep it before you sell it. You can keep it for a year, 2 years, 5 years. After you sell it, whatever profit is made in the property, you can put back into another property and buy another one, and you don't pay tax because
Okay.
it's inside your plan.
Okay. Now, the income that you make from lease or rental or whatever you want to call it, is that goes back into your plan?
Yes.
Or not into your pocket?
Yes, all the money goes back right into the plan.
Okay.
And that's the beauty of it. You're just adding to your own money.
Right.
And, you know, you can make anywhere from 8 to 10 to 12% on your money just by buying a home, because you make money three ways, like we said: appreciation, depreciation, and cash flow.
Right.
You don't make that with your investments in the IRA. So, you know, everybody I talk to about this, they look at me in disbelief. They think it can't be. How come I haven't heard about it? I don't know. I haven't heard about it until about 3 or 4 months ago. But the issue is that it's there. And you can start with a little bit or you can start with a lot. Naturally, if you have a lot of money in your account, you can buy bigger buildings. I work with a lot of dentists. Since I was a dentist, I work with a lot of dentists who want to have a second practice.
Right.
Or any business owner that has a business and wants to put their business in their own building as opposed to renting. When I sat down, I was a dentist for 35 years. When I sat down and figured out how much rent I paid over 35 years,
Did you get depressed?
I was suicidal is the word. I spent like $2.5 million. That was a low
Ouch.
estimate. Now, do you think I could have bought a building? I could have built a building for $2.5 million.
Yeah.
You know, and I'd be in a different position. Yes, I deducted the rent from my business expenses, but I didn't capture any appreciation
right.
from the
right.
building. You know, and we're going to get to part 2 of this discussion, which is taking the building and exchanging it for a better building, and again, not paying taxes.
Okay.
So that's one way. That's the first way. The first way, and the wake-up call I tell everybody, is you can utilize your retirement fund to buy real estate, and you can keep flipping the properties over and over and over again and earning money, and you will not be taxed on it, period. There is also another way. You can actually take your money and lend it out to investors like myself, who are buying properties and flipping them, because it's called hard money, because it has nothing to do with a bank. So you go to somebody,
Okay.
a personal investor, and they will give you money secured and insured by the property.
Oh, okay.
Okay? And you can earn anywhere from 8 to 12%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's now you're talking.
Yeah. And so all these things are available to people. Most people don't know how to go about finding these people. They're out there. They're all over the place, especially here in Florida. Our markets are very hot. The statistics are really positive for the next 30 years in Florida. 1,000 people per day are moving into the state.
Yep. Property is hot.
So property is hot. Everybody wants to live here because, you know, we have the only state that's inexpensive relatively compared to California, and, you know, is affordable to everyone.
Okay, so it's not just housing. You're talking about business properties.
Yeah, you can buy a shopping center. You can buy a professional building. You can also buy land.
Okay.
There's no qualifications on the property that you buy. You can invest in land and keep it for years, and then sell it, and then buy a building with with the sale of the land. You can go buy
when
a
you
building.
upgrade.
Yeah. Now that everything that I'm talking about is inside your retirement plan.
Okay.
So, like I said, you can't touch the money. You don't benefit directly from the cash flow until you start taking money out, but you benefit by building up your account.
Right. It's your bank.
Yeah. The next thing I want to go over are the rules of the game. One of the biggest rules is you cannot maintain the property. You can't fix the property. There's no sweat equity that can go into the property. You have to hire people, and they have to be paid through the fund.
Okay.
And there are some people that are disqualified from having a relationship with the property. For example, you can't buy a vacation rental and give it to your son or to your father. Anybody in a linear pattern in your family, you're not allowed to do business with. Now, that being said, there also is another way of earning money, or buying property rather. You can fund half the property with your IRA or your pension fund,
right,
and half the property by you personally. So you can go in half and buy a property. If you have $50,000 and you take $50,000 from your retirement fund, you can buy a $100,000 house cash.
Okay.
So we have a couple of ways of making money. You can buy the property as a deposit and take a loan through your fund. You can buy the property and pay cash. You can pay half through the fund and half through you. So there's lots of ways. You can lend out your money to private investors and make money that way. You can also, there's a really, really neat plan. You can also buy, let's say you're up north and you want to move down to the beach in Florida. You can buy a rental property on the beach, rent it out for X number of years until you're ready to move in. Up north, you sell your home, and you and your wife can earn up to $500,000 in profit with no tax.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's another one people don't know.
All right.
And then you then you take that money and you can come down and pay for the property here, or buy another property, or whatever you want to do with your money.
Now, pardon me. Now I'm getting confused already. But now the person who guides you through this is who?
There are a couple of people. The qualified intermediary will guide you through the process, and your agent will help you.
Because you need
guidance. You can't really do
advice,
this. And if you do something wrong, it will be disqualified, and you pay tax.
Yeah, and you don't want to do that.
Which defeats the whole purpose. So go with the right people. Not everybody knows how to do this. Not everybody is familiar with this. There are people in the real estate industry that don't know about this. There are people in the investment industry that don't know about this. Your broker who's handling your retirement fund is not going to be happy.
Why not?
Because anytime you pull money out of your retirement fund, he or she can't play with it. Which leads me to another thing. People don't realize the amount of fees that they're paying. And the baby boom generation, again, is being awakened to the fact that they thought they had X amount of dollars, but after the fees and everything were taken out, they have a lot less.
Oh, there's fees. Okay.
Yeah.
Hidden kind of thing.
There's hidden fees. There's fees. A lot of people are paying 3% on their money, which is like half. And you know, they thought they had $500,000 and they wind up with $150,000 or $200,000. It's crazy.
That's a huge difference for a small pocket.
Yeah. And the money that you were planning to live on is no longer there. So you have to do your homework. I recommend Anthony Robbins' new book on money mastery. It will educate you to all these fees, and that's how I became aware of a lot of the things that are going on with these funds. And that's why the people love it. They make money no matter what happens.
Okay.
You win, you lose, you're up, you're down. They still make money because they're buying and selling
So it
products.
fluctuates for you, but they're guaranteed.
Yeah, they make money
Okay.
no matter what happens, which is a pretty good deal for them.
So then taking the money out, in spite of what they feel, is beneficial for you as long as you do it right.
Well, yeah, because you're not spending the money; you're investing the money.
Right,
That's
yeah.
why you can get away with it.
taking
It
the
has to
money,
be an
moving
investment.
it.
Right. You're just moving it from one IRA to another one, to a qualified plan that allows you to buy real estate. Most plans don't allow you to buy real estate for obvious reasons. They're not in the real estate game, and they don't want you taking the money out. So you be prepared to hear something from the person that's running your plan. He's probably going to talk you out of it or something like that. So that decision is yours.
Because that's Florida, as you said, things are growing and things people keep moving here, and the background, the stores, the shopping centers, everything, the business buildings, new ones have to be built all the time.
Absolutely.
And so it's great to get in on the ground floor, and then you can better yourself by selling and I read a little bit about this, and you have to make your next move in a certain amount of time. You can't just pull it out.
No, that you're talking about the 1031 exchanges, which is the second part of the program we're going to talk
jumping
about.
ahead.
No,
Okay.
that's okay. What I have
See,
been
that's
talking.
why I need a guy like
Yeah.
you. Yeah, I'm lost.
The first part of our program, we talked about taking money out of your retirement fund. You just
Okay.
introduced the second part, which is called a 1031 exchange. It's
Okay.
another rule that's on the books that's been there forever, which allows you, if you buy something outside of your retirement plan, you
Right.
buy a building and you sell it and you want to buy a bigger building.
Right.
Normally, if you don't do the exchange, you will pay capital gains tax. Remember the depreciation that I talked about?
Right.
You have to recapture some of it when you sell a building.
Okay.
So you get hit with a lot of taxes. If you don't want to do that, you do what they call a 1031 exchange, and you're correct. You only have 180 days to sell your first property and buy your second property.
Okay.
All right? And then the rules are this. If you sell your first property and go to contract, you have 45 days from that date to identify 3 different properties that may be the one that you may buy.
Okay.
Okay? So out of those 3 properties, by 180 days, you have to close on one of them in order to qualify for the exchange.
And it has to be worth more.
Equal or more.
Equal or more.
Equal or
Okay.
more. So
All right.
you can do lots of fun things. Whereas if you've had a property for a while and you have a lot of equity in it, you could do a lateral move, buy another property of equal or maybe just a little bit more, and then once the exchange is over, you can refinance the new property, pull money out, and you don't get taxed on it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost too good to be true because everyone can do this. You don't have to be Donald Trump to do these kind of things. You just have to have the right people helping you do it, and you have to move kind of quick. You have to, my strategy would be to find the second property first,
Right.
which you could also do. You can find the second property first, close on it, and then go backwards and sell your first property. So you
Okay.
can do a reverse exchange also. It's very cool. The laws are there for everyone. Unfortunately, if, we can all claim ignorance, but at the end of the day, we're not being advised properly. Because a lot of us don't want to involve realtors and we don't want to involve advisors. We think that we can do things ourselves. And
All you have to do is make one mistake, Vinny.
yeah, you're done. You're done. Now, with the 1031 exchange, it's a beautiful thing because you buy property after property after property. You keep upping the ante and upping the value of the property. At the end of your life, if you sold the property, you would pay a ton of tax.
Right.
And you would lose probably half the value. But instead of doing that, if you pass it on to your children, this is the best part. So you pass away, you leave the property to your son, daughter. The tax that was supposed to be paid is gone.
Okay.
And your son or daughter gets the property without the tax at fair market value, and they can either keep it and they can start exchanging properties.
Okay.
Okay? Or they can sell the property and pay no tax because it's an inheritance.
Oh, okay.
Is that cool? It's a very neat, organized law that's in place, or rule that's in place that, you know, until I got involved with real estate, I had no clue. And most people don't.
So it's a sheltered kind of thing.
Yeah. It's a tax shelter that's legal, that's supported by a piece of property that you can visit. And, you know, people say to me, well, you know, I'm buying real estate. And, you know, we saw in 2008, real estate went down also by a lot. And so did all the stocks and bonds and everything else. But in this market that we have, and if you're with the right people, we know what's happening in real estate. And it's not going to go down. For example, in your 401k, you can go from 100,000 to 80,000 in one day.
Right.
That's not going to happen with your property. We know trends and we know what's happening and we watch them. And if something is happening, we can get you out of the property before you lose your shirt. So it's more secure. Is everything 100% secure? No. But it's just another way of you leveraging yourself with your own money.
Well, if you hold on to the property, as if in the past you held on to it when you lost stuff, if you sold it, you sold it at a loss.
Right.
But if you held on to it, now it's back up.
Exactly. So you have to have the guts to ride the wave.
And not knee-jerk reactions.
Right. Well, that's where advisors come in. You need good brokers. You need good real estate people that are in the market and they realize what's happening and they know what the trends are. And it's all about, you know, being up to date with everything. And that's why you need advisors and you need people that you trust to help you with these things. These are two great tools. Again, the first tool is borrowing money from your retirement plan to purchase property. And it could be little, it could be big. I work with a lot of dentists because I was a dentist, and we help them. A lot of them have the goal of having a second practice or moving their practice into a building that they own.
Diversification.
Well, yeah. I mean, who would you rather pay rent to, yourself or some other company? You know, I paid rent for 35 years.
Well, and you're saying yourself, it's not immediately to yourself.
Right.
Because
but you're
it's into
benefiting.
the program.
But you're benefiting. You're benefiting.
Yes.
You're paying for your own building.
Yes.
You're helping pay for your own building. It's tax deductible. You get depreciation on a bigger piece of property, which is going
Right.
to, you know, if you buy $1 million building, you're going to get probably $25,000 worth of tax deductions the first year
Okay.
instead of paying tax. You have to ask your accountant. These are accountant questions, but you know, there's so many advantages.
Those are the avenues that you need to.
Yeah, well, you make money three ways. With a property, you make money three ways, and people
Right.
don't realize, you know, you have appreciation, you have depreciation, and you have cash flow. And those three ways are a lot stronger than hoping and praying that your stock goes up.
Yeah, because that's very. Yeah.
Well, you're gaining control of your future, as opposed to leaving it to some person. And there's no offense to them; they probably are trying their best for you, but you're more in control of your destiny, of your future financial
yeah.
makeup. Well, I'd like to thank you for joining us here in the Property Hour. If you have any questions, you can call us at 239-994-5734.
What's that number again?
239-994-5734.
Okay.
And remember, you cannot do this alone. These things sound really good, but they are complicated, and they need to be timed properly, and they need to be handled properly. Like I said, with the retirement plan, you need a qualified intermediary. With the 1031 exchange, you also need really good real estate people to help you find the second property and close on both within 180 days. That can be challenging sometimes.
But you can take your time. There's no hurry, unless
You can take your time. With the 1031 exchange, you can take your time until you sell the first property.
Right.
Once there's a contract on
Right.
the first property,
Then once
the clock's ticking.
Right.
The clock's ticking, and you have
But you can
180
set yourself up slowly.
Yeah, absolutely. You can shop for the properties. The smart thing to do, my opinion, would be to shop for the new property and get a handle on maybe 3 or 4 that you might purchase. And if you're a dentist or if you're a business owner and you want to move your business into the property, what's better than that? Even down the road, if you want to exchange the property or sell it, you can write yourself your own lease before you do that. You can really guide your future with this. Thank you again for listening, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you for watching The Property Hour. If you're interested in learning more details, please call 239-994-5734. That's 239-994-5734. Or email Vincent at propertydreams2reality.com.